Israeli citizens are required to serve in the military. Most soldiers are drafted at the age of 18.
If you think that doing 30 minutes of cardio on a treadmill is as exhausting as possible, you should definitely think again. Alright, it is common to get tired after a long or tough workout, and that typically occurs because your muscles run out of energy, and even your central nervous system loses its ability to keep moving your muscles. You think planks are hard? Then you should see the 10 most insane military training exercises. So let's jump into the list. Number 10. Parachute Regiment, United Kingdom.
He's going to kill you or you're going to kill him. Simple as. It's down the middle, black and white.
Parachute Regiment, also known as the Paras, is an airborne infantry regiment of the British Army. The Paras, along with the Guards, are the only line infantry regiment of the British Army that has not been amalgamated with another unit since the end of World War II. It's considered to be one of the world's elite military units, and it has served in all of Britain's recent armed conflicts. The Parachute Regiment was formed during World War II after Winston Churchill was impressed by the success of German paratroopers. The first parachute-trained army units came into being in 1940, and the Parachute Regiment was formally constituted in 1942. It prides itself on having the toughest selection process in the British Army. Soldiers must complete an initial 28-week period of training designed to transform raw recruits into elite soldiers. It includes a 60-foot aerial assault course carrying a 180-pound metal stretcher for 5 miles and the feared log race, a 2-mile trek carrying a 60K telegraph pole. Now, there is also an event unique to the Paras known as miling, in which pairs of recruits are put into a ring wearing boxing gloves and head guards. They are told to punch each other as hard as they can in the face for a minute, and it is forbidden to block or evade the blows. And if the recruits complete basic training, they are then sent for parachute training, during which they must complete 5 jumps from a Skyvan plane and 2 from a larger C-130 Hercules. Number 9. Pakistani SSG Commandos Training. The Pakistan Army Special Service Group, also known as the Maroon Berets due to their distinctive headgear, is a special operations force of the Pakistan Army that is responsible to deploy and execute 5 doctrinal missions: foreign internal defense, reconnaissance, direct action, counter-terrorism operations, and unconventional warfare. Before joining the SSG, the junior Army officers must have spent their committed military careers for at least 5 years and must be volunteered to join the SSG. Once selected through the medical evaluation, the volunteer must report to the Parachute Training School in Peshawar to volunteer for the airborne training for around 4 weeks and must get the airborne qualification badge from the training school. After gaining that badge, the junior must go from Peshawar to Cherit by the foot while wearing full military gear, which is around 30 kilograms, and the distance between those two cities are around 63 kilometers. Besides strong physical conditioning and mental fitness, the training courses in SSG include a strategic thinking quiz and a 36-mile march in 12 hours. And only about 5% of the recruits make it through to the Pakistan SSG due to the tough nature of the training course. Actually, the SSG criteria meet the Special Forces training and selection criteria of the United States Army, and SSG's personnel are regularly sent to the United States to collaborate with the American Special Forces personnel for further training in special warfare and tactics. Number 8. Israel Defensive Forces.
When our new soldiers are sworn in, they pledge, if necessary, to sacrifice their lives for Israel.
For Israeli citizens, conscription is a rite of passage. From the age of 18, military service is mandatory. Typically, men serve for 3 years and women for 2 years. Although exemptions exist, like those made on religious, physical, or psychological grounds, refusal to serve in the Israeli Defense Forces can lead to imprisonment. When the State of Israel formed in 1948, its military, known as the IDF, adopted its own form of self-defense and fighting system known as Krav Maga, which is taught to the IDF's elite Israeli special forces. Krav Maga is often seen as an Israeli martial art, but it is actually considered a self-defense system because it lacks the rules and restrictions of conduct present in traditional martial arts. It uses the elements of boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling, among other practices. Krav Maga is widely considered one of the most deadly forms of martial arts and one of the most effective ways to defend yourself. But learning Krav Maga is an extremely difficult pursuit that requires immense mental and physical strength. Number 7. The Republic of China Marine Corps.
never get to breathe and put me on the front line.
The Republic of China Marine Corps, also called the Taiwan Marine Corps, is considered an elite force with its 10-week amphibious training program. In Taiwan, the military has opted to put their soldiers through both mental and physical stress. This ensures that the soldier can endure the toughest battle conditions. The Road to Heaven test is the final stage of a 9-week intensive amphibious training program. It requires trainees to execute various exercises, including a leopard crawl along a 150-foot long path that is littered with jagged corals and rocks. As the recruits slowly crawl across the sharp and jagged terrain, they experience extreme pain as they are cut to shreds. All recruits participating in this final exercise have been awake for over 4 days non-stop, making the course even more challenging. Number 6. Belarusian Special Forces. Anywhere, anytime, any task. That is the motto of the Special Forces of Belarus, which is also known as the Spetsnaz of Belarus, which is a service branch of the Armed Forces of Belarus. The Interior Ministry of Belarus is in charge of the country's security forces, and soldiers of the ministry often go through incredible training courses that include physical tests and obstacles and adverse conditions. Servicemen from the special unit are undoubtedly tough guys, and to prove exactly how tough they are and to be accepted into the ministry's elite Red Berets, they must complete these extreme courses. The initial test includes a 10K quick march, followed by an extreme assault course, hand-to-hand fighting, storming a high-rise building, and acrobatics. Their commanders throw in extra challenges to make things even harder, such as trying to knock new recruits off the balance beam with car tires and live gunfire. Number 5. Russian Special Forces. The Special Operations Forces are strategic-level special forces under the Special Operations Forces Command of the Russian Federation. The Russian Special Forces combat a wide array of threats, from domestic terrorists to international criminals. This means that they must be prepared for any event that may unfold. Recruits are subjected to unique and dangerous training exercises to ensure they can handle the job. These exercises are part of a specialized Russian confidence training course. One of their most daring techniques includes shooting each other in the chest. The idea behind the exercise is to prepare the men if they are ever shot. Some soldiers end up wounded while others just take hits to the vest. Whatever the outcome, the men must be able to return fire quickly and accurately. Number 4. U.S. Marines.
You have just taken your first steps in becoming members of the world's finest fighting force, the United States Marine Corps.
You don't join the Marines, you become one. But becoming a Marine, it's not that easy at all. Marine Corps boot camp is legendary, but is it like anything that they show in the movies? Did you know the United States Marines training now includes drinking cobra blood and ripping the heads off of chickens with your bare teeth? An 11-day exercise called Cobra Gold is held every year in Thailand. It is comprised of around 13,000 soldiers from the United States, Singapore, Indonesia, Japan, and South Korea. The course covers amphibious assault, humanitarian relief, and the evacuation of friendly forces, as well as jungle survival techniques. After being taught how to properly kill venomous cobras by naval instructors, Marines are then encouraged to experience drinking the animal's blood. The cobra's blood is said to have many nutrients and can help sustain a soldier in an emergency. Number 3. U.S. Navy SEALs.
If you get a SEAL contract, we'll train you in a supervised environment with effective safety measures and condition you before you are tested.
Even with thousands of applicants who are certainly physically capable, the training program SEALs are required to go through requires much more than just physical stamina. All Navy SEALs must attend and graduate from their ratings 24-week A school known as Basic Underwater Demolition, SEAL Bud School, a basic parachutist course, and then the 26-week SEAL qualification training program. And they are surely known to perform some of the most secretive and dangerous work in the world. Navy SEAL trainees endure extreme surf torture, also known as cold water conditioning. First being covered from head to toe in the mud, the men then have their arms and legs bound as part of drown proofing. The recruits must bob up and down 20 times, float for 5 minutes, swim to the shallow end of the pool, and turn around without touching the bottom. They must then retrieve a face mask from the bottom of the pool. The insanity doesn't end there either. A BUDS instructor will also attack the trainees in the pool to simulate a combative drowning victim. Number 2. British Royal Marines.
Hi, I'm Marine Speed of X-Ray Company FSG. Let me show you around my gun position.
If you've ever thought about enrolling in the British Royal Marines, your career definitely begins at Commando Training Center Royal Marines in Lympstone. You will spend 32 weeks here and learn the skills that you need to become an elite soldier. The recruits are forced to spend up to 45 minutes at a time, performing extreme physical tasks in mud so thick that they can barely move. They are exhausted, demoralized, and covered from head to toe in terrible smelling sea sludge. Their uniforms offer little protection from the putrid mud as their superiors bark orders at them to do press-ups and crawl on their hands and knees through the shore. Number 1. People's Liberation Army China.
His goal is to enable the People's Liberation Army to conduct modern warfare, far beyond China's borders if needed.
The People's Liberation Army is the regular armed forces of the People's Republic of China, and training an army there is not an easy task. It involves great discipline, precision, and courage that can be called upon in times of war. However, soldiers in China take this idea to the next level. As a training exercise to harden the soldiers, life and death game of hot potato is played with live hand grenades. The pin is pulled as the men huddle in a circle and pass the explosive off to one another. The game continues until the very last second when the soldier holding the grenade throws it down a hole and dives for cover as it explodes. Which of these military exercises do you think is the most insane? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video, and thank you for watching.